Hello everyone, and welcome to my first official World War II airgun review. Today we're going to be going over the WE Luger P08. As you can see, the box is fairly nice. The barcodes they put on the side, so that kind of ruins it, but it's nice overall. There are three different sizes, small, medium, and large, and I bought the 6-inch medium barrel. Now let's take a look. First thing you're going to see when you open the box is the instruction manual. It's actually a decent manual. It's got annotated diagrams. It shows you how to take apart the gun. It's very, very helpful. But it is in English, so you will have to do a little bit of interpreting. Now, as for the actual gun, I got the chrome finish, and if I do say so myself, it looks pretty badass. I mean, even the magazine is full chrome. So let's take a look at the gun itself. The gun looks very, very nice. As I said, it's chrome plated, so all the metal is chrome. The orange tip and the two plastic handguards are the only plastic that you're going to find on this gun, anywhere. Everything else is chrome. Even the magazine, it's all chrome. It's all metal. It's all chrome plated. This black part at the top is the only plastic anywhere on the magazine, at least on the external. The rear sight is adjustable for 100 to 200 meters, and you line it up with this front sight. And I thought this was pretty cool. WE added a little bit of extra detail. It says 1915 right there for those of you who can't read it. Now I'm going to talk to you for a second about the magazines. Later in this review I will talk about the issues, but let's talk about how it functions first. The first thing you need to do, see this slide? You need to pull it back past that hole. Once you do, you can load your BBs in, and then you release the slide back to the top. At the bottom of the mag is the gas valve, and that's where you load your propane, green gas, whatever your propellant is. And right here is the release valve. And once you're done with that, you can load your gun and you're ready to fire. Now, just like with any gas blowback pistol, your slide will lock back when you're out of ammo. See? No ammo. And you can't pull the lever back. It won't go back to where it was. You have to take out the magazine and put it down manually. Then you can put the magazine back in. But once you release the hammer, you can't pull the magazine out. That's because with this gun, the hammer actually goes into the release valve. You have to pull the lever back and then take the mag out. Alright, now let me show you how to take the gun apart. This can come in handy trying to clean or fix it. First, take out the magazine, and then you want to pull this slide back a little bit. You see how it moves back and forth? Just hold it back in place and slide this lever down. When you do that, this metal part can come off. You put that aside, and you can slide the whole upper receiver off. Be sure to press that lever in. Alright, now let's look at the upper receiver first. All the upper receiver really is the slide, the barrel, and the hop-up. There isn't much to it. Right here is your hop-up. It doesn't come with an Allen wrench, but if you have another airsoft gun that uses the same type of hop-up, it should be fine. And that pretty much does it for the upper receiver. There isn't really much else. You do have to be careful of this washer in the back. If you try to take this upper receiver off, it can fall out, so just be careful not to lose it. Now here's the lower receiver. If you take a look at the safety, that word imprinted into the metal right there says gesichert. In German, that word means safe. WE did a very nice job detailing this pistol. To get to the internals, though, you have to remove these handguards. There's a screw on either side of the gun that hold the handguards in. You just remove that, and then the other one, and you can put those screws aside, don't lose those, and the handguards slide right off. Now you have access to the internals of the gun. To get the internals out, there are a few things you need to do. You need to remove the safety, and also there's a pin that needs to come out. I'll show you on the other side. Right here. That needs to come out. And then there's also a metal slide up here that you need to remove. There's a screw right here. Once you take that out, you can pull out that metal part. And then once you remove those three things, this whole system in here will just fly right out. It is spring-loaded, so be careful. Okay, now I'm going to quickly go over how this gun works. First thing you need to know is the hammer. When the hammer's pulled back, there's a little sear next to it that's spring-loaded. When you press it in, the hammer is released, and it presses into the release valve of the magazine. Every time you do this, gas is released and a BB is fired. Look at the trigger. It's really not that complicated. It's only held in place by a peg and a spring. Not much to it. What it does, though, is it squeezes an arm up here that pushes a piece of metal towards the sear. You see this right here? When you pull the trigger, it pushes against this sear, which releases the hammer. And that's how the trigger works. So now we can start putting this thing back together. It's not very hard. It goes back together the same way you took it apart. Nothing fancy. Alright, now when you go to put the upper receiver on, make sure you press this arm down before you slide it on. Otherwise, it'll get caught. This washer, too, you need to watch out for that, because if you're not looking, it will fall out. Then you can go ahead and replace this metal part right here. Slide the back end of it on first. If you need to, you can push the upper receiver back to help it slide in better. Once you do that, you can turn that lever back up, and you're good to go. Now I have something very important to tell you. It's also very disappointing. Unfortunately, I will not be doing a firing test for this gun, for multiple reasons. One, the gun is broken. It fires full auto uncontrollably after one pull of the trigger. I pull it once, and it fires all the rounds. The slide even pulls back every time. Now some of you may be thinking it's cool, but really it's not, and it's not the magazine. It's actually inside the gun. The sear that I mentioned earlier is chipped or something like that, and that's because WE used cheap metal to make it. But what happens is when you pull the trigger once, it'll fire all the rounds uncontrollably. And that really isn't something you want from a gas blowback pistol. That's very dangerous to your teammates and yourself, and it'll damage your gun overall to the point where you can't use it anymore. So if this happens to you, try and get a replacement. Now to make it up to you guys, I'm going to review something special. See these magazines? Yeah, they're not very good. They only hold about 15 rounds, doesn't hold a lot of gas, they're crap. The solution? The drum mag. That's right, I went ahead and got the 50 round drum mag. The gas goes right here, and let me tell you, it holds a ton of gas. A lot more than these pieces of crap. This will last you maybe 100, 150 rounds, whereas the other ones might last you the entire mag. On the back here is the crank. You can just pull this around, and it should lock into place up here. Give me a second. Having a little bit of trouble. There we go. Oh, hold on. There we go. And what that does is it pulls down on the tension so that you can load your BBs. Right there. It even comes with a speed loader that I'll show you later. And then once you're done loading, you can pull this back up, release the tension, and when you have BBs loaded, it'll go back to here, and as you fire, it'll go back. As you can see, the spring is there now, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Look, when you pull the tension down, you see that little piece of silver go away, and then it comes back. That's because the tension is being pulled down. And now let's put it inside the gun. This makes the gun look a little stupid, but at the same time, it's so badass that it really doesn't matter that it's ridiculous, you know? It's just awesome. I'd rather have this than I would have the normal mags, even though the normal mags are much easier to carry around. Alright, let's go over this thing. On the front, there's a little imprint of the word gas right next to the valve. On the back, I guess this screw here is for disassembling it. I'm not going to try it. I don't want to take it apart. It works. It's a very nice magazine. Much better than the original mags. I mean, there's another, I guess, screw right there for taking it apart. I guess it just pops open. I don't know. I'm not going to try it, though. But, like I said, you pull this back. It locks into place. That'll pull down the tension. Hold on. Gotta get it. It should lock and then slide. There we go. And as you can see, the tension's pulled back. And here's the speed loader it came with that I was telling you about. Now you pull off that black part first, and then you load your BBs. After it's loaded up, you can just snap this on the end, and this slide goes back on and it just shoves the BBs right into the magazine. Now you can also use a traditional speed loader. Some of them come with attachments that you can put on the ends that attach to special kind of magazines, I guess like this, and they can go right in. But if you don't have one like that, it's not an issue. And then once you're done, you release the tension and it slides back into place, and you're set to go. That's the drum mag. Overall, in my opinion, this gun's the most aesthetically pleasing on the market. There is no equal. But it's not reliable. I've had it for a little bit over a week now, and it's already broken. I mean, it's just poorly designed on the inside. On the outside, it looks beautiful, but the inside, not so hot. So I do not recommend you get this gun unless you're a collector. If you're a collector, go ahead. If you just want it just to have it for looks, that's fine. But it's not effective in the field. I would go with the Maruzen P08. I haven't heard too much bad about it, but after experiencing this gun, I do not recommend it. So thank you for watching. I'll look forward to seeing you guys next time. Please subscribe, and again, any feedback would be wonderful. Thanks, and I'll see you later.